Welcome back to another video. My name is Abby, and today we are talking about how your self-concept can hold you back. Now, if you're new to this channel and you want more videos like this one, you can start by hitting that subscribe button below so you don't miss future videos. And if you like this video, a great way to support this channel is by clicking that like button below. I would be grateful, and it really helps me know that you like this content. So back to the video. How is it that your self-concept can hold you back? First, let's make sure that we all understand what a self-concept is. It's basically an image of how you see yourself to be in the world, how you actually view the world, and how you see what you can do in the world and how you can move about it. The image you have of yourself, who it is that you can be, who it is that you are right now. To get more into the science of what's going on, you have something called a cybernetic mechanism, and all that means is an image that you have in your head, how you view yourself. And if you think of Neville Goddard's work, he has the law of assumption. Basically, your self-concept is the series and the culmination of all the assumptions that you make about you, about the world, and about everything that's possible in your life. Remember, an assumption is what you give consent and permission to be true. So really, a belief is an idea that you thought over and over and over again until it essentially created a boundary of capacity, of potential. And that, the origin of that belief might not have even been you. It could have been a parent, it could have been a teacher. If someone told you when you were growing up that you're not creative, if somebody told you growing up that only other people get to experience nice things, or maybe they told you that having abundance or having financial success is really selfish and only greedy rich people get that. Whatever it is, you inherit that, you take that, you give it permission and consent to be true, and then you go about your life assuming that to be true, giving that permission over your life. Another thing about your cybernetic mechanism is essentially a thermostat inside of you for your behavior, for your thoughts, for your action in the world. So you start seeing people who are losing weight, and they start off and they're doing great. They have these new beliefs, they have these new habits, and they go about, they're losing weight, they're doing it, and then suddenly something starts to happen and they start going back to where they were. Well, basically what happened is they didn't change their set point. In that cybernetic mechanism, there is a set point. That is basically what you were rooted to, what you were anchored to. And you will have behavior that matches that. So essentially it's a box. And whatever you believe to be true about yourself in that box is how you will behave, because it is safe. It is okay for you to act like that. Now, if you're making $30,000 right now and you are barely living paycheck to paycheck and you have a lot of struggle, a lot of stress in your life, and you are wanting a $100,000 job and a lot more peace and a lot more ease when it comes to finances, well, outside of your cybernetic mechanism is that $100,000, is that peace, is that abundance financially. So until you change and broaden your self-concept, your cybernetic mechanism to include that new action, you will only be able to grasp at it and never really be able to embody that, allowing it to flow through your body and have it experienced in your 3D. As long as what you desire is outside of you. Going back to the weight loss example, you see people start going and they're doing good, and then they start receding because they did not change that set point, because they might have desired to be fit and have a really nice body when they look in the mirror, but inside of them, they still see themselves as overweight and out of shape. So eventually that behavior will go back to whatever that set point is. So it's not about fighting hard. It's not about pushing through that resistance. It's about changing the set point. It's about as simple as going up and changing the number on your thermostat inside your house. You would not hope that it gets warmer inside if it's cold outside if you didn't actually go up and change your thermostat. This is the same thing that happens. You cannot expect yourself to act in the world differently until you start changing who it is that you believe yourself to be, that self-concept. Another thing that happens is you have perceptual filters, basically how you see the world through all of the experiences you've had, all the things you were told growing up. When you're between 0 and 7 years old, you're still in the theta brainwave, meaning that everything you see, everything you're taught, everything you're experiencing goes straight into the subconscious mind. So if you're not in there examining what it is you believe, what happened to you during those ages, and shifting those beliefs, you will still be abiding by, still giving permission and consent for it to be true that those beliefs that you captured between 0 and 7 years old, they're still relevant and still dictating what you can have and what you can experience in this life. So as you're becoming more aware of what perceptual filters you have the choice to then remove them. Another thing that happens in your brain is you have your reticular activating system. And this means basically a filtration system. This is a fancy way of talking about those perceptual filters. And it's important to remember that whatever your emotion is, that is what you see through in the world. Meaning if you're angry, you will only actually look out into the world and find situations that will make you more angry. If you are sad, more situations to make you sad, depressed, whatever it is. The same can happen: joy, happiness, gratitude. So being aware of your emotional inner world, being aware of the emotions you're actually addicted to, would have dictated and been perpetuated throughout your life, is very important to understand and get a hold of. The more light, the more consciousness you bring to something, the more you can illuminate it, and then consciously make a choice. Actually experience free will. Until you do that, you're actually only reacting to the past, perpetuating the past into the future. In regards to your RAS, your reticular activating system, it literally is a filtration system inside your head. So if you see yourself as somebody who's only able to struggle financially, you will look out into the world and find situations and opportunities that will continue that belief. It is not there to say, hey, you're actually better than this. You're worth more than this. You can do more. It's not a cheerleading system. It is objective and it is programmed by you. Again, it goes all the way back to whatever self-concept you have. It will create different filters, and it will filter out anything in the world right now that contradicts that. That's because we have confirmation bias, meaning that we want to go out into the world. Our subconscious wants to objectify. Our subconscious beliefs want to look out into the world and find things that match. So the outside matches the inside. Confirmation bias. So your reticular activating system is looking out into the world to prove you're not good enough, to prove you can't have financial abundance. The important thing to note here is that's not true. That is just what it's finding. So if there's 10 things on a table and 2 of those show that you're unworthy, what about the other 8 that are on the table? Your RAS is actually not able to see it. It blocks those from your vision because you never see with your eyes. You always see with your brain, and your brain has those filters. The brain has those emotional filters of what you are able to experience. Go all the way back to the root of your self-concept, that cybernetic mechanism. What is inside your box right now? That is the life that you will continue to perpetuate. Every day you think between 60 to 80,000 thoughts. This is according to Dr. Joe Dispenza's work. 90% of those, if you're not paying attention, are going to be thoughts from the day before. So if you know that everything in your life right now is a continuation of what you already know, it is in your known reality. It is in that current cybernetic mechanism, that current self-concept. If you want something outside yourself, if you want that $100,000 job, that financial abundance, that secure relationship, you're going to have to start thinking new thoughts. And why? Why is it so important? Because every time you think a thought, and again, we're talking about thousands of different thoughts. Every time you think a thought, your body releases a chemical. That chemical is going to make your body feel the way that you are thinking. So when you get in that loop of unworthiness, when you get in that loop of anger, you think the thought, you feel it, you're going to think more thoughts. You think those thoughts, you're going to stay in that past. You're going to stay in a situation that you've already experienced. And every day is going to be just a continuation of the past. According to Dr. Joe Dispenza, unless your life right now is defined by a vision of the future, you would just continue to perpetuate the past. Unless you are starting to expand and starting to feel and convincing your body that that experience has already happened, so that you'll start having different feelings and thinking different thoughts. And why is it so important to convince your body that something has already happened, to have that feeling so deep that it feels your body doesn't know the difference between an actual experienced situation and event and something you just vividly imagine? And why is that? And why is that so important? Because your subconscious mind, what is basically storing your self-concept, it is a feeling mind, meaning that when you feel something to be true, when you accept it at the body level, when you feel it in your heart, which is your magnetic center, which is what's drawing your experiences to you right now, when you feel it at that level, you then have the ability to impress that idea into your subconscious. So if you have that intention and you combine it with a strong emotion in your body, feeling it to be true, that's when you will impress it upon your subconscious. That's when you will start changing your self-concept and expanding that box to include the desires, the wishes fulfilled that you want to experience in this life. On another level, we talked about the heart, feeling with your body, that being the magnetic center. And what you're experiencing right now in life is basically a combination of how you're thinking and how you're feeling. That is your state of being. And whatever it is that you're experiencing right now, your external world is matching those thoughts and those feelings. So if there's something in your life that you no longer wish to experience, you need to go back and see, well, if I'm experiencing that, if that's what I'm drawing to me, what am I thinking and what am I feeling on a consistent basis that is sending out that electromagnetic signature and giving me that a unique experience? Because the thing that you desire right now does exist in the quantum field. The thing that you need to change is how you think and how you feel. Expanding that self-concept now, including your thoughts and feelings of that self-concept that you want to have in order to experience that reflection back in your life. As you change who it is that you are, that state of being, that is what you're going to be sending out. And the universe, your life, your circumstances are going to reflect back always who it is that you are being, what is your state of being, how you think and how you feel. A big secret here is persistence and imagination. The persistence comes when, even though your external situations are not showing the new state of being, as you do it more and more, you convince your body these things have already happened, your brain will actually change and start looking like that experience has happened. So it is only a matter of time before you will see the ripples of your new thoughts and your new feelings manifest them in your external world, because another word for manifestation is to reveal. It is revealing who it is that you are being on an electromagnetic level. The more honest you can get with how you're thinking and how you're feeling, and give that intent to creating that new self-concept, having those new assumptions, shifting those subconscious beliefs into the person that you want to be to experience the life that you want to have. You start being it now, thinking about the thoughts you're thinking. Be an observer from a higher level of mind, shifting those thoughts, shifting those feelings, and ultimately shifting the reflection that you see in your circumstances. I really hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, hit like. If you haven't done so already, hit subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.